What's goody? It's your host J Rose, and I know I haven't posted in like almost 2 weeks, but we back right now. We're gonna be ranking every NBA team based on how true of a contender I think they are. Let's get into it.
Over 90% of the people that watch my content are not subscribed, so if you're messing with the videos, please hit that sub button and the noti bell so you'll get notified every time I upload. But let's get back to the hoops.
Yes sir, had to mix it up today. We brought the tier list back. I was gonna sort this out because I'm just gonna get this out the way. I am not going to be talking about a lot of these trash teams anymore. It's halfway through the season. We know who's trash for the most part. I am not talking about those teams anymore. These are the tiers. We got favorites, true contenders, dark horse teams. If you don't know what that is, just a team that I feel like if they had a shot in the dark, random run, they have the pieces to maybe possibly do some damage in the playoffs, maybe take it all the way. Playoffs for sure. You're going to make the playoffs for sure. Possibly in the play-in. And then we got the trash can for those trash teams I was talking about before. So we're going to start off with the Milwaukee Bucks, and I feel like the Bucks are playoffs for sure. Even with their recent struggles, I can't see the Bucks falling all the way down to the play-in, especially with the head start that they got. I'm sure Giannis can at least keep them afloat. I don't think this is going to be a team that's going to completely sink and just implode. Next up, we got the Brooklyn Nets. I think the Brooklyn Nets are a possible play-in team, but they suck. Like, they're not good. The Brooklyn Nets confuse me. I'm very confused at what the Brooklyn Nets are supposed to be. They have all these pieces that really would look a lot better on other teams. They're building around Mikal Bridges, who, although I think is good, I don't think Mikal Bridges is good enough to build your entire franchise around. I feel like Mikal would be probably a second or third option in a best case scenario. The New York Knicks, I feel like they're playoffs for sure, but I feel like that's a dark horse team. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't want to pull out the dark horse hat so early, but the Knicks really are doing a lot of damage right now. As we speak, I think they're on a 4-game losing streak, which is not helping my case. But I'm just saying, JB at his best is one of the best point guards in the league. Julius Randle has to not be garbage in the playoffs, and they can really beat a lot of teams. I have a lot of confidence that if Julius Randle can not even exceed his numbers, just do what you do in the regular season, maybe a little bit less, but don't completely drop off in the playoffs. And I promise you, the Knicks will do a lot of damage. The OG trade, I feel like they overpaid, but they're still really, really good after that. As we can see, they're the 4th seed in the East right now. So, think they go dark horse teams. Toronto, trash. They know they're trash. They tanked. They traded everybody. Pascal gone, OG gone. They're trying to reset that team, so not really much to say about the Raptors. Rockets, trash. Yeah, to be honest, they're not very far away from the play-in, but like, nah. New Orleans is always a tricky team. Right now, they're in the playoff picture. They're outside the play-in. I'm gonna put them in possible play-in though. I feel like they're not meshing as well as I really thought they would. They're not dealing with as many injuries as they have in last year, to say the very least, and they're still dealing with injuries, so it's just not really looking too good for New Orleans. They're not bad by any means. They're 33-22, so they're not bad, but the West is stacked. And in the stacked West, you're going to have a lot of a better record and a lot more chemistry and a lot more winning than what I'm seeing from the New Orleans Pelicans. The Lakers. I feel like the Lakers kind of shot themselves in the foot earlier in the year, but the Western Conference is so tight. The only people that are really playoffs for sure in the West are the Clippers, the Thunder, and the Timberwolves. Really, everybody else beyond those seeds, I feel like you can lose that really fast. And honestly speaking, so can those top 3 seeds. So the West is going to be hard to do this for. The Lakers, though, we're going to put in possible play. They started off really slow. They're starting to pick it up a little bit more. Austin Reeves doing a little bit more for the team. LeBron and AD doing LeBron and AD things. But yeah, they're kind of far back compared to some of these other teams. 9.5 games. The Bulls are trash. I'm not gonna lie. Kobe White, he's really been doing his thing this season. DeMar DeRozan has been playing really well too. Zach LaVine did not get traded, and I think that's crazy. He did season-ending surgery, which I also think is crazy. But yeah, the Bulls haven't been that good this year. Austin Reeves doing a little bit more for the team. LeBron and AD doing LeBron and AD things. But yeah, they're kind of far back compared to some of these other teams. 9.5 games. The Bulls are trash. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out Kobe White. He's really been doing his thing this season. DeMar DeRozan has been playing really well too. Zach LaVine did not get traded, and I think that's crazy. He did season-ending surgery, which I also think is crazy. But yeah, the Bulls haven't been that good this year. Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they're contenders this season. I'm not gonna lie. The only real reason I feel like they wouldn't be contenders is Anthony Edwards doesn't have a good playoff series, which he's had good playoff series so far in his career, or if Rudy Gobert gets dismantled like he did back in Utah. If one of those things happen, I'm not gonna lie, that's tough. But I really do believe in this Timberwolves team. Their defense is really good. Karl-Anthony Towns as a number 2 option has been playing much better than he's been playing as a number 1 option, and I'm the number 1 Karl-Anthony Towns hater. So I just gave him a compliment. He's been playing really well, really efficient, shooting the 3-ball well, had that crazy 60+ point per game scoring night a couple weeks ago. They look nice. They look nice, and I have a lot of faith in Ant to come and deliver in the playoffs, so I'm going to leave them at true contenders. The Trailblazers suck. The Nuggets I have to put at true contenders because it really does look like they're coasting, and I can tell a team that's coasting from a team that just can't do it anymore. I feel like that Nuggets team is really just, they're winning enough games to literally keep them at 36-19, which is one of the best records in the NBA. And they're just chilling. Like, they're just chilling there. They're trying to make it to the playoffs and then turn it on. And we know what Jokic does when he turns it on. So I feel like I can only put the defending champs in true contenders. I feel like that's fair. The OKC Thunder, I feel like, I'm not sure about OKC, to be completely honest with you. I want to say playoffs for sure. I'm not sure if OKC is ready yet for that kind of true contenders type of run. Not to say that the Timberwolves are much higher in their experience, because they're really not outside of Rudy Gobert. He had his stints with Utah. Cat didn't go to the playoffs too much. Ant been to the playoffs once or twice. It's not looking much different. I don't know. This is just a gut one for me. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is just a gut one for me. I feel like OKC is a lot younger though. They don't have really much of any experience outside of Shea going 1 year, and that's like it. So yeah, I feel like they can do some damage, but I don't think they're a true contender yet. Memphis is trash, which sucks because when Ja came back, they looked so good for like 5 games, and then he got hurt. And everybody on that team is hurt. They started like Gigi Jackson these days. So yeah, Memphis is trash. Next year, they're gonna be nice though. The Mavericks. Y'all could call me biased if you want to. I do not care. I don't. I'm putting them in dark horse team because listen. We currently are on a 6-game win streak. So the last 6 games that I've seen after the trade deadline, that was some of the best Maverick basketball I've seen since we made the Western Conference Finals. We blew the Thunder out, bro, by like 35 points. And we've come close with the Thunder before. But the new pieces we got rebounding with Daniel Gafford. We got defense and we got shooting with PJ Washington. And he can guard like literally almost everybody on the court. So our team is just a lot deeper now. We got better players. We got backups. And we're schmoving. They look nice, bro. And Luka in the playoffs is that guy. So you have Kyrie here now. We have a little squad here now. I think there's a shot in the dark. I'm just saying. The Spurs, they're trash. Wemby, amazing rookie year. Outside of that, Phoenix is in that spot. They're in that spot with the Lakers and all those other teams. Bro, all of the teams are super close. So me putting Mavs up at dark horse teams, they could very well like end up in the play-in and be a dark horse team. Like seriously, all of these teams, they're super close in seeding. So is a little give and take with some of these. I want to say the Suns are playoffs for sure. They seem to be getting better as the season's going on. They started off kind of slow. I remember Devin Booker and KD started off scoring hot, but it wasn't really equating into wins every single time that they would do that. It's still not. I'm still checking, seeing D-Book getting 40 balls and they lose or whatever the case may be, but still, I think the Phoenix Suns are getting better as the season progresses, and they're going to continue to do that. So I'm going to put them in playoffs for sure. I think the Clippers are one of the true contenders coming out of the West. And boy, I already made a whole video apologizing to them because of how good they've been. Do you know how good that you have to play to get me to make an apology video? Because I was talking that much shit. bro, the Clippers, they've just been one of the hottest teams in the NBA, to be honest. Offensively and defensively, they've looked crazy. Westbrook's defense off the bench and his contributions really can't be understated. His offense has taken a dip, but he's doing all the dirty work. He's still scoring a little bit, assisting, rebounding, and they really need him to do that. James Harden as a point guard, he's just really adding a new dynamic to this team. He's facilitating like crazy, and he goes off for a nice scoring night every now and then. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are being Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, man. I mean, PG is looking really, really, really nice. And I would like to add that none of their stats really pop off the page. And I think that sucks because a team playing this well, you'd like to see one of their players be in the MVP conversation. But with guys putting up like 35 and 5 up top, and then you look at Kawhi Leonard averaging around 24 points, it's like we can't really squeeze in there. There's too much talent up there, but they're definitely deserving of having one of those guys in that position. Golden State, they're possible playing. They might even be trash, if I'm being completely honest with you. They're 27 and 26, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. They're not terrible as it stands, but they're not good either. Detroit is trash. We don't even need to talk about them. Sacramento, they're possible playing. They're possible playing. They're the 8th seed right now. So man, they might be a play-in for sure. But like I said, tight seeding. They're only 31 and 23. They could go up, they can go down. We gonna see what happens. Cleveland, I want to say Cleveland's another dark horse team, if I'm being honest. And I don't think there are any more dark horse teams in this bracket for me. I don't believe so. I'm gonna say those are the dark horse teams. But Cleveland, I've been seeing Donovan Mitchell going off. They look like they're starting to learn how to play together more. Issue is Darius Garland's been out this whole time, so we don't really know what they're going to look like with Darius Garland. I'm not a big fan of that backcourt. Their defense kind of sucks, to be frank. D-Mitch has been going off this season, absolutely been one of the best players this season. And Cleveland just looks like they got the sauce, man. If you just watch Cleveland play, they look very confident. They're going into every game. They think they can win every single game. Shout out D-Mitch. He's going crazy. I think they're a dark horse team. The Celtics are favorites. They've been my favorites since before the season even started, if I'm being honest. The Celtics, I feel like they have the best team in the NBA. They have a well-balanced breakfast. Their whole starting five can do a little bit of everything, and it's just not fair. It's not fair. And then you have Jason Tatum, who I feel like he's been getting a lot of MVP talk recently, and I don't know if we put him in those conversations. I don't think he's that good. Not to say Jason Tatum's not good. He's excellent. Jason Tatum is an excellent NBA player. Absolutely one of the best players in the league, but I don't think he's up there in the MVP conversation. I really don't. I will say they're playing well, super duper well. They're 40 and 12, I think, right now, playing out of their mind. They are taking care of business how I thought they would be. They need to win a championship, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm not usually one to go super biased for MVP when you can't win a championship, but I'm not going to lie. Jason Tatum, you've had great teams around you your whole career. This is another adaptation of another great Celtic team, another great Celtic unit around Jason Tatum this year. I felt like last year they should have won it, and this year they should definitely win it. They're my favorites. Absolutely. If they lose, I would be disappointed in them. Highly disappointed in them. Philly, I want to say they're a possible playing team now. After being so good the whole season, Joel Embiid going out really slows them down. That stops a lot of their traction. So I don't think they're gonna really be in that. If Joel Embiid miraculously somehow pulled out of thin air and he's healthy now, true contenders, 100%. They look crazy this season, bro. And as much as I rag on Joel Embiid, I feel like him and Maxey really could have done it this season if they were both healthy, but he's not, so I'm going to put him in possible playing. Charlotte, trash. They're pretty much Detroit Pistons. We don't got to talk about them. Washington, they're trash. Pretty much the Detroit Pistons and Charlotte Hornets. We don't got to talk about them. Orlando Magic. I think they are a possible playing team. I think the Orlando Magic, they started off really hot. They were a really, really good team to start off the year. I saw that their offense was really lacking, so I didn't think it would stick, and it hasn't. Miami, I want to put them possible playing. I feel like they might be good enough to the point where I could just put playoffs, but Philly is going to drop out. So the question is, do you think Indiana is going to just stay in? Do you think this team is going to stay in? I think I think Miami, I'm just going to go out on a limb here, right? They've played more toward playing from the previous half of the season, we can say, right? I think they're going to get it together with Terry Rozier. I think Jimmy Butler, Terry Rozier, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, I think that's going to be a good team. I think they're going to finish off the season as a good team, and they're going to be in the playoffs for sure. That's what I'm going to say. For Indiana, I'm going to say the same. Like I said, I feel like Philly's going to drop out. I feel like those two teams can secure playoff spots realistically. I think they're better than the rest of the conference. To round out the Eastern Conference in the playoffs, I feel like it would be like the six that are making it for sure. Boston, Cleveland, New York, that's 3. Milwaukee, Miami, Indiana. And I think that can round out the 6 teams that make the playoffs for sure in the East. I can't do that for the West. I'm not going to even attempt to. The Hawks, they're a possible playing team. I think the Hawks are a decent team. Their record doesn't really show how decent they are. They look terrible. But Trae Young plays well mostly every night. DeJounte Murray is also a good player at the end of the day. He doesn't really have stats that pop off the page, but he is a good player. The team's just not good enough, to be honest. They didn't really build a team that could compete this season. The Jazz are also possible playing. They're like a game behind the Warriors, so if the Warriors are there, Jazz got to be there. And I feel like this is a good list. If there was one thing I would change is maybe put the Clippers in favorite, honestly, because the Clippers have had such a crazy turnaround. That shocked me. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Westbrook, who's their 2? Norman Powell. When they're all on the court together, synergy, bro, and they can all shoot for the most part, besides like Zubats. And Westbrook can't really shoot either, but you know what I'm saying? They're all good offensive players. They all bounce off of each other, and I didn't think that they would. I really didn't, and I thought that having one ball was going to get in the way, kind of how it would get in the way for other teams built in this fashion, and they've turned it around, and it really hasn't been an issue for them so far. So shout out to LA for the turnaround. This is going to be my final list, so we can screenshot this, bro. We can screenshot this, and when playoff time comes around, I'm going to bring this back up, and we're going to see how accurate I was. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I enjoyed this tier list. I might do another one soon, so if you see another tier list, it was inspired by this one. I'm going to catch you on the next one.